Hey guys, we're here to talk about absolute value equations, so let's get started. The absolute value of a number is the number of units it is from 0 on a number line. We use the symbol, two parallel bars, to represent the absolute value of a number. So let's look at some examples. The absolute value of 5 is 5. The absolute value of -7 is 7. The absolute value of 2 is 2. And the absolute value of -2 is also 2. So notice that the absolute value is always going to be positive because you can think of absolute value as the distance from 0. So whenever we have a problem such as the absolute value of x or the absolute value of a variable equal to a number, you have to remember to account for both the positive and the negative number that have the same distance. So x is equal to 9 or x is equal to -9. So here's a rule of thumb. If the absolute value of a equals b, then a equals b and a equals -b. Our next example says y plus 3 equals 8. Remember to check your solutions. So according to our rule on our previous slide, we have to do a equals b, where a is equal to the expression on the inside of the absolute value bars and b is your answer. So y plus 3 equals 8. I subtract 3 from both sides of my equal sign, and I have a result of y equals 5. Now we have to do case 2, where your expression in your absolute value bars is equal to the opposite, or -1 times your result. So this is y plus 3 equals -8. I subtract 3 from both sides of my equal sign, and I have a result of y equals -11. Now it's time to check your solutions. You always have to go back and check your solutions to ensure that you don't have any extraneous solutions to your problems. Any answer that's an extraneous solution will not be included in our solution set. So y plus 3 equals 8. I plug in 5 for y, and I want to know, will the absolute value of this sum equal 8? Well, the absolute value of 8 is 8, so I know that y equals 5 is a solution to our original equation. Let's check the second answer. I start with the original equation and I plug in -11 for y. I want to know, is the absolute value of -8 equal to 8? It is indeed. So both answers are solutions to our absolute value equation. The solutions are 5 and -11. Thus the solution set is -11, 5. Okay, so here's a problem that you can do on your own. Pause the video so you can work it out and see which answer is correct. And the correct answer is B. Remember, if you have any questions, to write them down in your notes so we can discuss them in class. Here's example 4. Solve the absolute value of 6 minus 4t plus 6 is equal to 0. So I start by subtracting 6 from both sides of the equal sign, and I have a result of the absolute value of 6 minus 4t is equal to -6. So now I examine case 1. 6 minus 4t is equal to -6. I subtract 6 from both sides, and I have a result of -4t is equal to -12. Then I divide both sides of the equal sign by -4, and my result is t is equal to 3. Now look at case 2, a equal -b. So 6 minus 4t is equal to +6. I subtract 6 from both sides of the equal sign, which gives me a result of -4t is equal to 0. Then I divide both sides by -4, and t is equal to 0. So I have my two values for my variables. We have to plug them into our original absolute value equation to see if we have any extraneous solutions. So I substitute 3 for t, and I begin to simplify the left side. I want to know, will it equal 0? 3 times -4 is -12. And when I subtract that from 6, I get a result of -6. The absolute value of -6 is a +6, and 6 plus 6 is 12. This does not equal 0. Therefore, 3 is not a solution to my equation. Okay, now let's check for 0. Negative 4 times 0 is 0, and 6 minus 0 leaves us with 6. When I simplify the left side, I see that it results in 12. Again, 12 does not equal 0. Therefore, neither solution is an answer to my equation. Therefore, the answer is no solution. The solution set is the empty set. If you have any questions, please remember to write them down in your notes so we can talk about them in class. Okay, example 5. The absolute value of 8 plus y is equal to 2y minus 3. Remember to check your solution. So case 1, 8 plus y equals 2y minus 3. I subtract y from both sides of the equal sign, and it leaves me with 8 equals y minus 3. I add 3 to both sides, and I have 11 equal to y. So that's one value that I have for my variable. Case 2. 8 plus y is equal to negative times 2y minus 3. Remember, we have to account for both the positive and the negative values. So we have to distribute this negative to everything on the right side of the equation. So now I have 8 plus y is equal to negative 2y plus 3. This time I'm going to add 2y to both sides of my equal sign, and it gives me 8 plus 3y equals 3. I subtract 8 from both sides of the equal sign, and I have 3y is equal to negative 5. When I divide both sides of my equal sign by 3, I have a result of y is equal to negative 5/3. Now let's check our work. So I substitute my values in for the variable y. So I want to know, will both sides of my equal sign match? Does the absolute value of 19 equal 19? And the answer is yes. So I know right now that 11 is a solution to my absolute value equation. Let's check the second example. I plug in negative 5/3 into my equation, and I want to know, will both sides of my equal sign match? Is the absolute value of 19/3 equal to negative 10/3 minus 3? The answer is no. The left side I get a positive 19/3, but on the right side I get a negative 19/3. Those are two different values. Therefore, negative 5/3 is not a solution to my equation. So the only solution I have is 11. The solution set, only 11. If you have any questions, remember to write them down so we can talk about them in class. Here's an example to do on your own. Pause the video, work it out, and then resume to see if you got the correct answer. And the answer is 6. Thanks for watching.